Don't you ever say, I just walked away. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. Alright, I am Sebastian, and this is FFFIC. Alright, we are here in the back of Famous Faces and Funnies, reviewing for Invest Comics, so you get the F and you get the ick. FFFIC. Oh yeah. Let's see how quickly we can do this one. Last one went quick, because we accidentally deleted everything. This time, I'm just going to try and be quick for the hell of it. Batman number 25 is really, really dark. The cover, anyway. 0 year crossover. So very, very good. Although I will call Dirty Pool DC. Issue number 24 cost $7.99, and then number 25 cost $4.99. Come on, give a guy a break. Forever Evil, Justice League of America number 9. Also really good. We get the Martian Manhunter and Stargirl trying to escape from within the Firestorm Matrix. Spoiler alert! That's where all the Justice League members got trapped by the crime syndicate. So, is très bien. Spear Spider-Man number 21 is actually my favorite issue yet, which is weird because the way the last one ended and the teaser of this that they had posted up on the interwebs made me think that I was really going to be pissed at this, because it's one thing if they're going to mess with the Peter Parker or with the Spider-Man name by putting Doc Ock in there, but when it starts spilling over to mess up Peter Parker's life, then I get annoyed. All new X-Men, they get their all new costumes, and now it's Kitty and the all new X-Men joining up with Cyclops' band, so you have an X-Men team that has Cyclops and Cyclops on it. Like a mini-me. Don't call him Slim. Don't call him Slim, he doesn't like that. So this is, it is really good. I really like this. I'm just liking X books all over the place. Who knew? Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I love this book. It's so beyond good. There's giant scorpions, and there's just betrayals and lies, and the owl eating rats and rats eating people. And it's so good. It's so good. This is my favorite thing Nick Spencer has ever done. Mostly because I didn't like really anything else that Nick Spencer had ever done. But this is so good that it makes up for everything I felt about everything else. So it's so good. Battlestar Galactica number 5. It's is the Abnett Landing still? Yes, no, yeah, maybe. Yes, see, this is Abnett Landing on Battlestar. So it's the best of new Cosmic meets the best of old Cosmic. And I say old Cosmic because it's the old school Battlestar Galactica that I remember from a kid, not the sexy Cylons Battlestar Galactica. Alright, so good. Shadow Green Hornet Dark Knights number 5 is so okay. It's okay. Dynamite uses these characters a lot, and it confuses me at times because they don't have a set continuity. They kind of take place whenever, and I don't even mean like they jump around from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I just mean they're not even in a same continuity. It's like if it was a DC-esque universe, it would be like, forget 52 universes. There's like 52,000 universes with these characters in it, each all just doing their some kind of thing. And in my head, I want to lump them together, and I can't. But it's okay. It's not bad. This Noir number 1. Another Shadow thing. Really, really like this. It's the Shadow and the Fury, and I'm still not entirely certain who Black Sparrow is. I don't know if that's a character they made up or if that's a whatever, public domain character. But this is really good, and the art is really good, and it was very actually noir, and I liked it. So good on you. That guy's loud. Go get a pillow and strangle him. Pathfinder number 11. I love this book. I'm loving Pathfinder. It's so good. And they had gone out in pursuit of the Black Dragon they thought they might have possibly killed, and they find more trouble than is worth. And this one ends with, well, we get an answer to did or did they not kill the Black Dragon. Manifest Destiny number 1, really good. I wasn't sure what to make of this at first when I saw the solicits. I wasn't sure if it was something I was going to bother checking out. I read it. Really, really good. Cryptozoological Lewis and Clark. So really, what's not to like? With like conspiracies and lies, and as you can see, you know, they got bison centaur kind of things. Really, who was ready for that? Not I, said the little brown hen. But this was really, really good.
That's myself.
This Chris Dingus and Matthew Roberts, so good. Also so good. Protocol Orphans. This, I couldn't remember if I ordered this. Turns out I did, but Jared put it in the wrong mailbox. I'm gonna blame Jared. But Jared gave it to me today, but I had already pulled one to read for the review because I was like, oh, I guess I didn't order it. So good. Michael Allen Nelson doing what Michael Allen does best, writing strange little books for Boom. All right, his Supergirl run was meh, but everything else he's ever done, I've loved, and this is no exception. This is so good, and I really, really like the art on this. Who did the art on this? Mariano Navarro. Okay, it's Protocol. Okay, they're like a secret agent spy group of orphans raised specifically. Their handlers is called Dad. They've had different dads, and the mysterious people who work for Dad are called the grandparents, and they send the orphans out. And since literally these are orphans taken and trained since they were children to deal with special situations, and like by deal with I mean like they get the girl learning how to hack a computer by poison gas is pumped into the room. They're like, the average 8-year-old can hold her breath for 90 seconds, which means you have 90 seconds to solve this puzzle or you'll die. And, you know, she does. Apparently, one of our heroes is slightly more scarred because, a puppy? I get a puppy if I solve it? In a manner of speaking. Look closer, Lewis. Do you see the puppy's collar? What is that? An ounce of ANFO connected to an RF receiver that will detonate in 2 minutes if you can't solve this puzzle. You don't want to watch a puppy die, do you, Lewis? Considering his next words as he flashes back to that now in his 20s are no, not again, while he's trying to defuse something, I'm thinking the puppy didn't make it. So yeah, it's not exactly the nicest organization, but it's an organization that turns orphans into like Mission Impossible type spies. So really, really good. A little creepy. Really, really good.
A little creepy.
Unite with the Fearless Defenders. I like the Fearless Defenders. I just do. It's ending. I'm sad. You should be too. Be the Fearless Defenders. How to defend yourself against the Mocking Dead. This book is good. You get a it's just fun and it's funny and I like it. This is the one where you've got some people from a think tank that was designed to think out what if all the sci-fi, horror, fantasy scenarios ever came real in our world, how would you stop it? And this issue is mostly focusing on the relationship between the guy and girl. They were friends when they were younger, and they kind of had a falling out while working on all of this. And one of the things is that the guy wants all those rules, these are the rules for vampires. This is what vampires can and can't do. But in reality, it tends not to work like that. They're blowing zombies' heads off, and the zombies are still coming with no heads. The whole idea of take out a zombie's brain doesn't actually work. And they're like, what the so they're just dismembering things. They'll just like take out the legs, slow them down, chop them up, stop them. But, the idea is, those rules, once again, Hollywood lied to us. And they got like zombies that, 2 perfect headshots. There's just lower jaws on this, and they're like, still coming. Like, what the hell? So, it's good. Codename Action. This is Dynamite's rebranding of the Captain Action books. Really, really good. Very James Bondy. I like these. Old man Captain Action. There's an old guy Captain Action, like a Sean Connery Bond action, and a young guy Captain Action. Sean Connery Captain Action is, of course, badass. He's like throwing down some hurt despite being severely outnumbered and trapped and restrained, and he's just badass. It's really good, lots of fun. Oh, Batman Little Gotham. I keep saying this. I love this book. This is like I love this book week. But don't worry, Superboy's in there, so I won't say it the whole time. Batman Little Gotham, so good. You get Hawk and Dove, because Batman goes on vacation, because Alfred sends him on vacation with Selina. So, and Batman's idea of a vacation isn't everybody else's. And of course, they end up stranded on an island with a pirate that looks just like the Joker, and his pirate wench that looks just like Harley Quinn. And just when Bruce is about to suspect that it's them, turns out Harley and the Joker are also stranded on the island. And they have to kind of pseudo team up to defeat these other guys. Meanwhile, you've got the birdhouse, which has like all the birds of prey, Hawk and Dove, the various Robins and Nightwing, Oracle. Everybody's there, and they end up having to take on a gem heist that was masterminded by, hey, who a bunch of birds going to take down? The Penguin. So it's birds. So good, so good. Archer and Armstrong, number 15. It's Archer and his brother, the Time Walker. What the hell's his name? Ivar. And Archer's doing some heavy drinking and going through the various stages of being mad at. Actually, no, it's Armstrong and Ivar. So Armstrong's drinking all the whole time and doing all this because he's mad at Archer for leaving because he kind of slept with the girl that Archer loves. So he's mad at Archer for leaving him over that. But as he gets drunker, he comes to terms with it's all my fault, man. It's very good drink. Plus, it keeps count of how much alcohol Armstrong is consuming. And at one point, it has a disclaimer. When he gets up to 56, total number consumed, is it 56 with a blood alcohol level of 0.433, physical state, inanimate, mental state, suicidal. Disclaimer, Armstrong is a superpowered immortal. You are not. Do not drink as much as he does. You will die. So that's an important disclaimer. So it's safe for the kids. But this book is so great. Red Team, penultimate issue, so good. We lose a couple people, and the plot thickens, and it just leaves it. It's a Garth Ennis book, so yeah, it's exactly what you think, and it's awesome. Deathmatch, another penultimate issue. I'm gonna be so sad when this ends, because Benny Boatwright, the Dragonfly, is my new favorite superhero. Who knew? Granted, he's a bug-themed character, and he wears blue, so really, should have been a no-brainer. But this book is so good, so convoluted. We thought we'd found out the secrets of what was going on and who's behind it, and that one of the heroes was actually a bad guy. But now we find out how convoluted the concept being that in order to defeat one bad guy, it's like how many wrongs make a right, and in order to defeat the undefeatable bad guy, the smartest superhero on the planet figured out that he had to do all of this. He had to get a billion atrocities going on to be able to take out the one good guy and set everything up to be perfect to take down the one bad guy that couldn't be stopped. So it's, a lot of evil happened, but it was either that or losing universe. So it's complicated. Many shades of gray, probably more than 50. Nightwing, number 25. It's a 0-year crossover. Nightwing out on the town, having pissed off his friends that we met in this series earlier, when one of them turned on him completely, and one of them turned on him partway because they knew he was Nightwing, and the Haley Circus days. But he was kind of being a dick to them in this, and he goes off and ends up in the middle of the blackout and has to try and save people and all this stuff. So it's good. Forever Evil Suicide Squad with the return of Old Mac. Suicide Squad versus Suicide Squad. The old tradition of, heroes meet heroes and they both have to fight because of a misunderstanding. Now imagine there's two Suicide Squads. One that's the typical one with actual villains. One that's a not so typical one with a bunch of heroes. But Suicide Squads that are known for just their massive death and destruction actually talk it out and solve the problem a lot faster and more reasonably than all the normal groups who think that they're so level-headed and then just beat the crap out of each other for 2 issues before they realize, oh, you're not the bad guy? I know you're the bad guy. No, we're not the bad guy. And in this, they solve it a lot more reasonably. Harley is being a sneaky little minx. We find out King Shark's motivations. We may get more answers than King Shark knows about by the end of the page, but it's the crazies. Superman, Wonder Woman. I don't know if Doomsday killed Superman in less continuity. Originally, they said that had happened, but now it's like no one in the world has heard of Doomsday except for Superman. So I don't assume it killed him in a quiet background and no one noticed. I don't know. But you got Phantom Zone has got some the boundaries between the Phantom Zone and our dimension are not as strong as they once were. So you get Wonder Woman versus Doomsday. You get Zod showing up. So yeah, you're gonna have Doomsday and Zod and what the hell's her name? The chick Zod that was very popular in the movie, Feora. You get her. So there's gonna be a lot of holy crapness for them to deal with, and we know eventually this leads to Batman will team up with them, and you'll have Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. Okay, little Trinity going on. Oh yeah. Cataclysm, this table squeaks a lot. Catechism. Yes, this is the one where this is the issue where Miles Morales makes his first Holy Communion. It's Catechism, ultimate Catechism. No, Cataclysm. So no worry, it's not the end of the world. Oh wait, yeah it is. I haven't been thrilled with any of the Cataclysm stuff so far, but this is Bendis on my Miles Morales Spidey and Cloak and Dagger and Bombshell. I like these characters as much as last time I said I do really just want our Galactus to eat the Ultimate Universe and be done with it. At the same time, I want all of the characters in this book to make it. Even though we already have a Cloak and Dagger, I'd read a book of Cloak and Dagger and Dagger. Or you can make 2 books. You can make Cloak and Dagger and Dagger. They could be 2 separate. Or Cloak and Dagger and Cloak and Dagger. It could all... You can never have too many daggers, and now you have extra cloaks to hide them. But this is really good, and you get Dagger with the line of it better be a really big bad guy because I'm ready to lose my, and they turn around and it's Galactus. So she wanted a really big bad guy. Be careful what you wish for, Dagger, because Galactus is as big a bad guy as they get.
He's not bad. He's just misunderstood and hungry.
Unity was better than I expected. It's everybody versus Exo Manowar. And Exo, he holds his own fairly well. He goes up against Ninjak. They fought before, and if you're supposed to believe that fatal bad things have happened to Ninjak. But he's on the cover for the next one, so I'm thinking maybe not. But yeah, so you got like Harada and External Warrior. I always do that. Eternal Warrior and Ninjak and some other people all teaming up to take on the threat that is Eric of the Sea reclaiming Romania in the name of the Visigoths, because they weren't as extinct as we thought. The Visigoths were just slaves in space, and now they're home and they want their home back. Seems reasonable. It's just complicated. Huntress and Power Girl, this is going to start the build to they're going to meet and explain who they are to our Earth's Superman and Batman, because Power Girl's powers are, she's just girl right now. The powers are come and go. They're kind of iffy at the best, and she tries sunbathing, and literally she goes up into space in a space shuttle and just throws herself out to just get unfiltered sunlight, and it doesn't work the way she wanted to. But that reminds me, let's go back a couple. Best part of this, Superman is meeting Wonder Woman's family, all right, and they are of course the gods. Apollo, just one smack, just sends him flying. And Strife's like, ha ha ha, you never look at your boyfriend the same after you see him lose a fight. He just got taken out with one fight. Superman gets back up and is like, Wonder Woman, I know you can handle yourself, but let me. And he punches Apollo, who of course retaliates by zapping him with this eye blast of he's the god of the sun. And he goes, what? Because when the eye blast is, Superman's standing there just glowing, and he's like, you hit me with sunlight? You don't know me at all, do you? Boom! And just Apollo goes, not Apollo like Stormwatch Apollo, but like the god Apollo, because he's the god of sunlight. He happens to be the god of the thing that gives Superman his power. So that didn't go the way he expected, and that was That was just great. Green Lantern Corps, 0 year. This is issue number 25. This is, you got a flashback within a flashback. You got really young John Stewart flashing back to his activist mom, and then military John Stewart dealing with the chaos that is Gotham City during 0 year. And when I say chaos, I mean literal anarchy, because the New 52 version of Bat villain, occasional ally to Robin, weird guy, Anarchy is here. He's not as much. He's still got the mask, but it's not the mask on a stick to make him look bigger and the weird cloak. He's more camo pants, Anarchy motif on a hoodie with the mask.
Like in Gotham.
It's I don't like too much realism in my comics. It makes them less comic-y. So this makes it look almost like an Ultimates world. Anarchy versus just give me the thing. Put them back in their right costumes. These stupid New 52 just ruining everything. Batgirl. A lot of people were bitching about the pictures they revealed of Batgirl in like riot gear, but it makes sense. She's not Batgirl yet. She's not. She's not Batgirl yet. She's just Barbara Gordon trying to protect her little brother. So what does she have? She has her father's police gear in the closet to go through. So she puts that on to try and protect herself. The story, though, it was okay, but it kind of led to nowhere. It's like she picks a fight with a guy who stole a bunch of their stuff, and she's like, I'm not going to let him get away. So she jumps after him, fights him, sort of loses the fight, knocks him into the Gotham Bay or whatever, but knocks him with all the stuff. So she doesn't win the fight. She doesn't get the stuff back. So I don't see what the point was. Really? Forever Evil, Arkham War. It says Rise of the Talons. Don't believe it. It's mostly Bane versus Man-Bats, and they have a coffin with a Talon in it that they will probably open next issue. So it's Rise of the Talons, not really. It's Bane versus Man-Bat, mostly. Avengers Hunger Games. What do you call it?
Arena.
Avengers Arena. Katniss wins, and they're all hungry. Now, my girl's about to explode. Poor Hazmat. She should have exploded the second they killed her boyfriend. I miss metal. We had an event here. We had Mini Free Comic Day here, and Carl Moline, who drew a couple issues of these, including one where it looked like metal was coming back, but it turned out he wasn't. But I have that sketchbook where I have all the I have artists draw my favorite characters coming back from the dead, so so that this way I can have them still. Screw continuity. But Carl drew metal coming back for me, so yay, all of you metal fans. He's alive and well in my continuity be damned sketchbook known as Saint Sebastian Superhero Cemetery, which is just full of all these returning. It's what it says. I wrote that on the cover. It's just full of superheroes coming back from the dead because they just kill all my favorite characters. They just like to. But yeah, so this is good. Check that out. Harbinger. I'm a little tired of they're all in a hibernating, not really there, wakey uppy kind of hallucinatory world story. We can end this now and get back to, because I love this book, but these last few issues of each one's hallucinatory world just hasn't grabbed me the way it should. The Bounce is still cool. I love the art in this book. The story is good. It gets a little trippy and a little whatever. A lot of these is the problem is I read all of these in one night because the comics come out on Wednesday and I got to review them on Thursday so they can go up on Friday. It's a complicated life I lead. So I don't have the time before the reviews to read them for the nuance level. I'm going through, there's nuances in here that I know I'm not catching the way I'm reading them. But that's why God made trade paperbacks. So I can read them and go, oh, I get it now. Thank you, trade paperbacks. And I actually do that. I make that noise. Superboy number 25 is not the reason anybody made trade paperbacks. It's not horrible, and the art is real. Who did the art in this? Let's give this. Oh, it's Ed Benes. It's okay. However, it's not great, and I don't like the new version of the Eradicator.
It was dumb. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You know, it's not my thing. I don't really feel it at all. It's no, it's just not for me.
But aside from that, I loved, you know, when they did the death of Superman and then the return of Superman, they had the Ford. I instantly fell in love with the clone. Superboy was my favorite. All right, and then as he evolved and eventually became Con-El and then Connor Kent, I loved it. And then they killed him, and a piece of me died. And then they brought him back, and all was good in the universe. And then they gave him his own book, and Jeff Lemire was writing it, and it was good. And the Titans was really good for a while. And then they wrote the Titans, the best they'd ever written them, and that was the Sterling Gates, Nicholas Scott Titans. And then
52?
was it Sterling or J.T. Kroll? It was J.T. Kroll and Nicholas Scott. And then the New 52 came, and they made the Titans horrible. And they just change them, and not like change isn't my problem. All right, change has to make, not even has to make sense. It can't just be change for change's sake. If you're just going, look, I can make it different, then you're not doing it right. And all the Titans changes seemed like they were just going, oh, this is what they were. Well, let's make them this. Why? Well, because it's not this. Oh, that's a good idea. We're mixing it up. So it was crap. Now they finally got me to start caring about the new version of Con-El. They finally sold me. And he's going to die in the next issue of Superman, so that the evil version of him, that nobody knows is the evil version of him, can take over. And it hurts me. I want to give it a chance. It's Marv Wolfman on Superboy. I love Superboy. I love Marv Wolfman. I should love that. But I don't see me loving it. Because everything, the more, like they just did an interview with Scott Lobdell on Newsarama, and I read it, and I just thought to myself, dear God, why? About basically everything he said. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to really want to like it. I am. And I hope that it somehow proves me wrong. But this, knowing they're about to kill a character that I only just started liking, just really warmed up to, doesn't make me want to read these stories. You know what I'm saying? It's mad. Resident Alien. Really, really good. This is the end of the Suicide Blonde story. And, yeah, he has a mental power, like a telepathy, that he can make people not see him as an alien. But as you can see from the picture on the cover, someone's taking pictures. Now, they're taking pictures of their own girlfriend, but in the background, there's him, and telepathy can't fool a camera. So he goes home and has digital pictures of freaking alien. So that's going to factor in the next miniseries. And Vibe is ending, which makes me sad. Because I love this book, and you all should too. And this is Vibe stuck in another dimension, being the hero that he can be. And it's going to all come down to Vibe versus his brother, and his other brother just meets Amanda Waller. So the Vibe brothers, are all going to get. It's going to get complicated, and I'm going to cry when it's over. So that's that, interwebs. I miss you already.